Hello everyone. This is going to be my promised near-death experience, and it was a really hard video for me to decide to make because it's something, I can talk about it and tell you brief like touches on it, but it's a very real, very almost sacred type of experience, and I wasn't sure how I would handle the typical YouTube troll type things, and I wanted to be sure that I had my head on straight. Okay. In 2002, I had a brain aneurysm, and they were taking me from the little hospital down here up to Oklahoma City, and they wanted to fly me, but the weather was bad, and those guys can't fly if the wind's blowing really hard. And so they took me in, and I was riding in the ambulance, and I was sitting there, or I was laying there, couldn't move anything, couldn't speak, and I was terrified. And I died, and the only thing I can compare it to is like walking toward a great big spotlight, but there's just, it's like there's aura after aura after aura around it. And I got the sense that there was three beings, and they were talking to me, but they were talking to me in my head. And I said, oh no, oh no, oh no, I can't go, because at the time I had a 5-year-old, and let's see, I guess Danette was 12, yeah, and my husband, and I just the thought of leaving him with the children just hurt me so badly. And you know, in that moment I knew that it was going to be hard. I didn't know how hard it was going to be. I didn't know that I was going to be as much of a burden as I was going to be, especially for the first probably about 6 months. And but they let me come back, and I cannot explain to you how torn I was about going or not going, because I've never felt, never imagined just the unconditional love, just the acceptance, the Imagine every good feeling you have ever felt in your life all combined into one. And it was magical. Well, that's it. I came back into my body, and they were they had the paddle stickers on me, and they were shocking me. And in case you didn't know, that that hurts. And they were coming at me with a laryngoscope, and that's the thing that they put into your mouth to cock your jaw back and put a tube down your throat. And the only thing I could think of at the time was, in a hospital setting, being tubed is not a big thing, but in a bouncing ambulance traveling at a high rate of speed over Oklahoma roads, that's almost like sure bet you're gonna have broken teeth. And I was trying to wake up to enough to make signals that I was alive and breathing. You did not need to move me. No, 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 no. And that they kept on wanting to put something down my throat. I said, no, 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 no. I'm good. I'm good. Oh, well, I thought I said that. Actually, there's no telling what I said, because I had the type of aphasia that my words didn't slur. It wasn't a matter of a dead tongue. I said nonsense, it took me 3 days to heal enough to realize that the words I was speaking was not the thing I meant to say. And while I was laying there, waiting and terrified, the only thing that kept me from being mindless with terror is the fact that I had that experience locked in my heart. I knew where I was going. I knew what was coming. And so I just fell in with the program. I did everything that they said that I needed to do, because I could not hold up my end. You see what I'm saying? I said, no, I can't go for my, I have to stay for my husband, and I have to stay for my daughters. And but I didn't feel any disappointment. I didn't feel any anger at my decision. It was just acceptance. It was love. And when I was in the hospital and I was, trying to get up, because I have an artificial leg on the left side, and my right side was the one that finally ended up affected. When I first woke up, I couldn't move anything. Couldn't speak. And so when I first got up, and they were wanting me to walk down the poles, the side-by-side poles and everything, they told me, I can't believe you have an artificial leg on this side, and your stroke leg is just, you're able to move it so well, and all this kind of stuff. And you know, the only thing I could think of was, I have to do this. I have to be able to walk. I have to be able to go and do things with my children. I have to be able to be there for everybody. I have to be able to contribute my part in my children's lives. I have to, you know, they have to have a mama. And so a month later, I walked. It was with a walker, with my hand strapped to it, my right hand strapped to it. But I walked to the car. You know, they had to wheel me out the doors, but I walked to the car. And then I climbed up into that Dodge Durango. And the day after I got out of the hospital, I went to see my friend who had just gone through a divorce in Florida. And she lived in an upstairs apartment. And so I walked up those stairs and, you know, hugged her and tried to do what I could for her. And she was just bawling all over me. We'd been friends ever since 7th grade. And she was going through a horrible time, and I'd made plans for us to go out there to see her. And I got out of the hospital, and the next day we went to Florida. I mean, I didn't get to go to Disney, and I didn't get to do all the things that I wanted to do, but I was determined to live up to my part of the bargain. I was determined to be a contributing member of society, to help people, because I had been a nurse and I always tried to help people. So losing that, because I had blank spots in my memory. I had they call it a thalamic stroke, because the aneurysm, it was technically a hemorrhagic stroke, because they debated on whether or not they would have to open me up and go that deep, and it quit on its own. So it was only a small blood vessel that had ruptured, and so it was called an aneurysm by, you know, some set of doctors, and a thalamic stroke by another set, because they technically didn't have to open me up to drain it. They just gave me medicine. And, you know, I don't know. It just felt like that I had to. I mean, it didn't matter if I helped one person or I helped 1 million people. It was just, I have and always have had a need to help people. And after that, it was more than a need. It was almost a calling. But I only started reading the tarot like past couple of years, or I guess it was 1 year, I guess 2020 was when I started. And that was because I had shingles in the ear. and it fractured me in a way that I hadn't been fractured before, because I had the ringing in the ear, vertigo, pain, facial drooping. That's actually, the drooping you see in my face is actually because of the Ramsay Hunt, or shingles in the ear, instead of my stroke, because my stroke, I only had a slight, very, very slight on my eye, and this you can kind of see. And it really fractured me, and it was like I was being tortured by my own body. And because of the virus's damage to the nerve and the nerve damage, it took me 2.5 years of being in the bed, because I'm not the steadiest of persons anyway, and the vertigo would just put me on the floor. I had a broken ankle because of it, and I had all kinds of things happen. But it was like being tortured by my own body for 2.5 years, and I was just a basket case. So I picked up the tarot and I studied it 24/7, and at first there was nothing. I mean, just what I read, the meanings for the cards, and now I have my guides. I do remote viewing. I spontaneously see things and hear things, and it's really, really cool. But at first I had to use it for the mindfulness in order to help myself. And then once I pieced myself back together, then all the gifts came. And that was just, I don't know, for me it was further, I had tipped my toes into the metaphysical world for a long time, because I've always been empathic. But I never thought I would do this. I would be a tarot reader. I would be the woo-woo kind of queen, because science and nursing were my life. And it took me a long time to be able to get to the point that I wanted to explore, that I had no fear anymore didn't have a fear of the other side, but I had a fear of being laughed at, being ridiculed, being somebody held in disdain, because I already have, I walk like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I have a artificial leg, and I didn't want another target on me. But I guess Spirit had another idea for me, because it was through exploring the tarot that I came into so many gifts, and it's like I'm starting so many more, and this is what I could have been feeling in 2002 if I had just let go. Okay, that's it. Please like, share, and subscribe.